Good evening, Luke and Ashley. Bullet holes remain in this building at the site where 6 people were injured just before 1 this morning. These B-17s used to house 10 airmen back in the 1940s. One of them will be crouched in the fetal position down here for up to 8 to 12 hours. Good evening. I have been timing this route since we left the Remcon station. The entire Mesa corridor is expected to take 30 minutes. As of right now where we are, we're at the final Brio stop. They missed some sort of green instead of all this gravel. That way they can have a place to kneel or sit when they visit a loved one. Good afternoon, Luke and Ashley. I am here in the KOAT debate studios with an anchor and the debate moderator, Doug Fernandez. Doug, how long has KOAT been involved in debates such as this? Blood still stains the entrance ramp to this nightclub. El Paso police say one man, a 21-year-old, was seriously injured when he was shot in the upper torso, but he is now listed in stable condition. It made the game more unique than usual with 2 mascots on the field. Here he is right now signing autographs for fans. Not only is the $97 million price tag controversial, but people want to know exactly where and which fund from TxDOT this money is coming from. Bob Michael Garcia was a 14-year veteran with LCPD when he was arrested. Today, when he changed his plea to guilty, Garcia got a plea deal from the judge that allowed the victim not to recount the details of the day she says has changed her entire life in a trial.
The victim would have had to been re-traumatized, and that's not good for anybody trying to put closure on this whole thing.
Mario Esparza believes the 9-year prison sentence for his client is a fair resolution. Esparza represents former Las Cruces police detective Michael Garcia, who pleaded guilty to raping a 17-year-old female department intern in 2011.
He abused the trust that we all have in this community with our police, and used it for his own purposes, as sexual gratification.
During the change of plea sentencing, the young woman took the stand and read a written statement to the judge. It read in part, quote, "I'm so disgusted. I lost my faith in everyone. I gave up on school. I could not figure out what to do with the rest of my life." Seen here in this foul court video, Garcia apologized to the victim during his sentencing, saying he accepts responsibility and is remorseful. He will likely serve his prison term in Massachusetts, where there is a recommended sex offender treatment program. Esparza agrees his client needs help.
He had been the victim of sexual abuse while he was a minor child by his stepfather, and when this incident came to light, it allowed him to open up and share that secret and receive treatment.
Bob, the victim has been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Today, she told the judge that she had learned that Garcia is HIV positive.
Wasted youth. It's a shame. It's a tragedy. And, you know, people really need to realize the consequences of what you're doing that last forever and ever and ever.
Defense attorney Justin B. Underwood reacts to this parking lot memorial scene where 18-year-old Aaron Ochoa was shot and killed last month.
Armando did not at any point in time during that day pick up those other 2 gentlemen and take them to that parking lot.
Underwood represents one of 3 murder suspects, 18-year-old Armando Torres. Court documents accuse Torres of driving the 2 alleged shooters away from the scene on Rio Grande and Stanton. Underwood says the other suspects, 19-year-old Miguel Bigovtia and 17-year-old Gustavo Valencia, got into Torres' SUV without his client even realizing what had happened.
Told them, I don't want anything to do with this. You guys, what are you doing? And in my opinion, it took a lot of guts for him to tell 2 armed men who just committed what they committed to get out of his vehicle. And they got out of the vehicle 2 or 3 blocks later.
An arrest affidavit says that 18-year-old victim Ochoa at least knew one of the shooters and had an argument with him just a short time before this happened. Underwood says his client and the victim grew up together, and Torres, who is charged with murder, sits, quote, scared to death in a jail cell, waiting to hear if his bond will be reduced and when and if he'll be formally indicted by a grand jury. Rick, it's a much calmer scene out here this evening after investigators spent all day here checking for city building code violations. As you can see behind me, police are preparing to lock up the Gateway Hotel for good.
I can't go anywhere. My stuff's up here. I'm disabled. I live up here.
Heated emotions Monday afternoon as people who live at the Gateway Hotel in downtown were told they can't go in.
Just like your normal hotel, you know, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's like bad hotel or nothing. It looks nice, you know. I mean, the conditions have been pretty good for my standards, you know.
Leland Wilkinson was living at the hotel while he looks for a job. He says he paid $390 a month for a single room with a bed and a bathroom. Although he was content with the standards, El Paso Fire and other agencies say the building poses major safety risk.
The gas, the plumbing, some of the electrical are the concerns that we're having from the building official. Egress concerns are some of the biggest concerns from the fire department, as well as the integrity of some of the fire protection systems.
David Gamble has lived in the hotel for 5 years and describes the people who live there.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people in here. Most of us are all retired from one thing or another. Nobody works, you know, so, I mean, you know, they have bad ones in here and good ones, you know.
Now, Adult Protective Services and the Homeless Coalition are doing everything they can to help relocate the people who lived at the Gateway Hotel. The Assistant Fire Chief just informed us that 41 rooms here were occupied, and they have been in contact with 37 people who lived inside. The Homeless Coalition, as well as Adult Protective Services, have helped relocate those people. Reporting live in downtown El Paso, Pilar Arias, ABC 7.
Pilar, thank you very much.